So the next piece of the sugya, the rabbis bring another verse. Gam anosh latzadik lo tov. It is not good for a tzaddik to be the instrument of punishment. If a person is supposed to be a symbol of kindness, mercy, and wisdom, we don't want him going out and doing punishments to people. So you see that Tzeduki was protected, like you said, John. Now the Gemara is going to add another piece about the moment of Hashem's anger. And remember, this all corresponds to what we talked about before, and we'll talk about it many times because we have to drill it into our heads, that Hashem has all the traits that we have. He has all the capacities of feeling and thought that we have, and much, much more, obviously. Well, God's also not insecure, right? He's had some good therapy, Tuvia. And God is more human-like than we can imagine, because he's the prototype of all power and strength and structure in the universe.
We're made in God's image.
And we're made in his image, which is the 10 sefirot and the 5 parts of Fim, etc. So when we talk about God's anger, it is an anthropomorphism. Sorry about that word. But we anthropomorphize so that we have some way of grasping onto the infinite, but we have to keep remembering it's still infinite. Okay. Tana Mishmei de Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir was said, "V'sha'a she'achamma zorachat v'kol malachei mizrach u'marav menichim kitreihem b'roshehem mishtachavim lahama miyad ko'es hakadosh baruch hu." So Rabbi Meir said at the time that the sun is hot, and all the kings of the east and the west put down their crowns from their heads. That's a big deal for kings. Take off their crowns, especially in public. Umishtachavim lahama, and they bow down to the sun. Ve'ein mekirim beyichud Hashem, and they're showing by their behavior of bowing to the sun that they do not understand the unity of God in all things. Miyad, they would bow down to the sun. Umiyad,
I thought they took the crown off because they were schwitzing.
They were schwitzing, and so they took off their crowns. That's a possibility, but
okay.
Miyad ko'es hakadosh baruch hu. Well, God is angry when human beings bow down to his subservient creatures and not to himself. They bow down, and God's angry to the sun. Because if you bow down with your crown on your head, it falls off and it gets a dent, or the diamond falls out, or the scepter breaks off. I think you're overthinking it, Tuvia.
I think it's an aspect of humility.
It's okay.
They're worshipping the sun, therefore they want to show that they are subservient to the sun. They're humbling themselves before the sun.
No, I think that we understand that people bow down to the sun. It's even part of a normal Tai Chi maneuvers that people have a thing called salutation to the sun. It's also in yoga. Where do the antecedents of these postures and these exercises come from? Well, here you go. Bowing down to the sun is an ancient thing that was done in Egypt before the Jews were here. Okay? Here on this planet.
Before Jews existed?
Yes. The sun god is called Ra in Egypt. They would bow down to the sun. That's before Abraham. That's right. The Egyptian Empire preceded us, Tuvi. I know that's shocking for you. I know you're Judeo-centric? No.
I'm from Brooklyn.
You're from Brooklyn. You're Brooklo-centric. Oh boy. Very good. Yosef added a point. Yosef's point was that by taking off their crown, they're acknowledging to anybody who would see them and to God and to the sun that they're below him.
That's what I was saying.
Right.
Subservient,
right.
So that's a sign of their humility.
That's what I'm saying. That's the word I use.
But it's false humility.
But they're bowing down to the sun, they take off their
Right. Okay, we see here we have a classic machloket, or a controversy about Avodah Zorah, about the serving of idols, because it is confusing. It is confusing. We've talked about this before as well, and we'll continue to understand that part of the human brain understands that God is one, and part of the human brain sees everything in pieces. And when I see the world in pieces, I identify power to each of the pieces. So one of the big pieces is the sun. So if my part of my mind that unifies things does not hook up all those thoughts about all the pieces, then a person remains worshipping all kinds of things because he's not accessed the part of the unity in his own mind. But when we have that unity in our own mind, then we're able to put together the pieces and realize the sun is not a god. The sun is a representative of God's power. Just as the wind is a representative of God's power, so is the ocean, so are the mountains, and so is every human being, for that matter.
So you were just saying, please, I apologize. The point that you made was
that the human brain wants to break things into pieces, and it is our job to make sure we remember that our seeing the world in pieces is not the whole story. There's a unity behind all the diversity. Okay.
That's taught by this teaching.
I'm explaining why it could be that a person who's a king of millions of people could bow down to the sun, take off his crown and worship the sun. Now, I like the sun in the winter. Summertime, we're not too good of friends. But in the winter, the sun is a beautiful thing. How many people you see sitting with their face up to the sun? They want vitamin D. They want to get a tan. They want to feel warm up. Those are all reasons to be thankful, but not to the sun itself, to God for making the sun. Now, this diuk, there are cases in the Torah where Chachamim and Mekubalim would talk to various entities in creation, like the sun. And you can say to the sun, you're talking to something that has a spiritual entity attached to it, which is every creature has a malach. And so let's say it's windy and and the wind is too hard for you. You could say, Hashem, please take away the wind. Or you could say, wind, please go away because your master, the king of the universe, wants to make it easier on the Jews to get to shul on Shabbos morning. So you can talk to both the sun and Hashem. But if you talk to the sun, you're going to be really careful because he only has power as given to him by Hashem. Okay, but there is this place in us that sees it as one, and there's places, and the rest of us sees it as broken up. Anyways. We have another piece connected to this. Tova Maradot Ahat B'libo Shel Adam. One well, not exactly here.
Submission, it says.
No, Redui here is Hachna'ah, or submitting yourself. One moment of submitting yourself in humility in your heart to Hashem is better. Yoter mikama malkuyot is better than all types of lashes. Right. From Ridui is going down before something. But Malkuyot means lashes. So it's better that a person has a little bit of to subdue himself in his heart, Nocho Mordechai, versus to get hit by the whip or the lash or dad's Levi's belt. Shneimar. So and he brings a note here. It's worth going through. Shneimar. It's written b'nevuat Hosea. That after Hashem brought suffering to the Jews, they still were running after the other nations. Brit Ahava imahem, a friendship covenant with the other nations. Sound familiar, right? Everybody's after peace. But are they really? Well, here we see that they're going after the nations even after God brought Yisurim on them. So what good is the Yisurim? Or how good are you going to give your kid a potch and he doesn't change anything? What good is that potch? It's better not to hit the kid than to hit him and upset him, and he keeps doing what he does. So Hashem did the same thing to Am Yisrael, and Am Yisrael didn't change. They still wanted to make peace with all these false or these non-Jewish idol-worshipping nations, pagans. And they ran from this love. Now, V'amra alecha ashuva el ishi arishon ki tov li az ma'ata. Now he brings enough of it. He said,
I'll go back to the first one.
I'm going to pinch you. Ve'kara alecha vashuva. I'm going to call to you and I'm going to return to you, to the man, my first man. Ki tov li az me'ata. Because this is the real tshuva when Am Yisrael sees themselves as a bride and they say, it's better to go back to my first husband than this second husband I've been trying out, etc. Which I imagine a few people have had this thought in their life. And the metaphor holds for Am Yisrael and Hashem that there's a level where the Jews have to basically realize that they only have one true husband, one true master in the universe. And then they'll come back in tshuva. But you see that it's not necessarily from Yisurin, from suffering. It's really from okay, he's a better master, he's a better husband. So it's really from love. Reish Lakish Amar, he says it's better to be subdued in your heart, yoter mimeh malkiyot, better than 100 lashes. Shneimar v'techat ga'ara b'mevin. And underneath the punishment, but Mevin, and the one who understands me'akot kisil from the lashes or the blows that a fool will receive 100 lashes, right? That's right.
Or that's what's the shot?
He's saying that there's a benefit. It is better that a person could subdue his heart for one moment than getting hit by 100 swipes of the belt. So you see, and this is really what's going on in modern education. People don't hit the kids anymore because it doesn't help anyways. We grew up; they still used to paddle, right? They paddle. In your school, John? You were probably too good a guy.
I got the slipper.
You were a nice guy. Oh, you got the slipper once. Mordechai?
The school?
At school, yeah. No, they were already ahead. Were you
very ultra liberal place? Right?
Ultra liberal place, right?
I was kicked by people.
You were kicked. Wow, that's interesting.
Really?
They didn't like Jews.
In Brooklyn? Where?
You think it was really anti-Semitic?
It was Italian Catholics.
Well, so that's anti-Semitic.
They didn't like us so much. We killed their God after all.
Well, but the Pope clarified that for everybody. Anyways,
Where's he now? He's making out with the Archbishop.
I don't know. We're gonna have to edit you, Tuvia. We might have to. Tuvia, we're recording.